Speaking of here we go again, we just Tony Khan and the Twitter machine. This guy can't win on the Twitter machine. He's going up against a giant corporation, and it's hard to win on the Twitter machine. It really is, because if you're number one, you don't really have to tweet. But if you're number two, people just mock you for not being number one. It's a lose-lose situation, and I feel like no matter what he does, it's going to blow up on his face. You know, if I would,
you can't win.
I know a lot of people in AEW are saying, "Hey Tony, stop fucking tweeting." And even if you're Team WWE, Team AEW, I mean, there are people out there that all they want to do is argue and fight and feel. Like, there's someone right now, maybe listening to this podcast, but definitely on the Twitter machine,
that loves you.
They're at work.
Oh.
They might have a girlfriend. If they do, it's probably a shitty one that yells at them. If not, but there's people. No, hear me out.
What are you coming for these people for?
Because I have a point about the Twitter machine. All right, so there's these people that, because I believe your partner and your job is 90% of your happiness. And there are people that have no partner or are shitty and have no family. Their life fucking sucks. And even if those people,
why do you come for me?
Pay attention. A lot. Let me cook, as the kids would say.
I would. They have cutting me so deep.
They have no loved ones. They have no genuine friendships, and their fucking life sucks, and their job sucks. So all they have is Twitter, and they just want to win something. They want to win Reddit points. They want to win retweets. They want to do this. So they'll do anything it takes to make their life feel better, but they won't be genuine. And those are the people you're fighting, where there's no point. There's no point in it. Like, if you can't have a genuine conversation with someone, then just don't have the conversation with them. And that's what he's competing against. And according to all reports, it's been bugging him, and he can't win. If some days he's a coward, some days everything was handed to him, some days, like, he can't win because he's having an argument with someone who has no happiness in their heart. So I think you just have to let it go, because the Eric Bischoff, Vince Russo way of doing it, is just not going to work in this generation. The Paul Heyman way isn't going to work. Like, right now, he's trying to bring out a Paul Heyman, Vince Russo, Eric Bischoff. I'm going to fucking challenge him. I'm fucking going for it. But those people that their lives are fucking horrible and they got nothing going for them, they just want to fucking feel good and destroy shit. That's it. And that's how you win those people over. Just keep making products. Keep fucking trying to improve your product. And we just talked about listening to the wrong people. On Twitter, it's so easy to listen to the wrong people. It's just so fucking easy. So,
well, it's not like, honestly, if you're going and replying to random people on Twitter who just tagged you or whatever, like, you got to step away. You got to step away, bud. It's too much now.
Yeah. And the crazy part is, we talked about this off air before. Twitter, and this is before Elon Musk. I know a lot of people think it's going to be Elon Musk, but we're talking way before Elon Musk, way before it was a power tool. Twitter was a beautiful tool. It was genuine conversations with people of all around the world. You could talk to actors. You could talk to athletes. You know, early days Twitter was pretty amazing. It's kind of reminded me of MySpace, but it's changed because now it's
now people don't take you out of their top 8.
Oh God, remember that?
It's a better time now.
Yeah. Remember when they bumped it like to 16, or was it 20 or something? I remember they bumped it up. You know what my MySpace?
I remember it was a ton.
I know this is my MySpace move. You ready? I think it was like at the end. It was like top 40. This is my MySpace move. It was like the top 6 or top 8. I'd be like, man, you're fucking number 7. don't you fucking worry, Sid. You're in my top 7. And then like at the end, it sounded kind of weird. It's like, you're my top 41, Sid. You're my man. Don't let anyone tell you any different.
Sounds like your loyalty went away fairly quickly.
No, it's just people really cared about that top 6. Outside of the top 6, you could just reach out to anyone. But nowadays, there's so many people that you only see the negative ones. Like, I go out of my way.
There was like a wrestling social media site where you could have like your top 8 wrestlers listed on it, but it'd be like an all wrestling platform where you just talk wrestling all the time on it.
Yeah, it would be a great idea.
Very niche.
But overall, I just think he's trying to use Twitter as a tool to reach out to fans, but you're only reaching out to those very angry people. And that's why, like, even on YouTube, because, like, the thing is, it's so easy. If someone comes by and says, fuck you, Koco, it's so easy to be like, oh, I'm going to fucking respond first. No, fuck you, random commenter. But if someone likes having a legit, genuine conversation, you kind of fucking ignore it. So that's why I try to comment on all the comments. I try.
Well, okay.
I fail.
My thing is, I don't think he's trying to pretend to be like that or evoke that same thing. I think he just can't stop himself from replying to everyone.
So you think he's a little addicted?
Yes. Okay. So here's a great way to look at it. What happens to a child star when the phase of adulation wears off and they're no longer being adored by everyone, no matter what? They start to spiral. It's pretty common, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a guy who was absorbed and adored by the wrestling world and fandom that he grew up worshiping, loved and adored by him, and they've slowly been turning on him over the last like year and a half. I think he just can't handle it.
Yeah. And he comes from a successful family, but he's also comes from successful businesses. Running sports programs and all that, all those people are like high-level professionals. Like, compared to pro wrestlers. Like, you don't see a CM Punk, you don't see women's champions locking themselves in a bathroom. You don't see that in like the real fucking world. It's fucking batso fucking crazy. So the crazy might be leaking into his brain. Because, like, it would be great to have genuine conversations.
Maybe he's been sneaking away on his jet to go hang out with CM Punk. They're just drinking their fucking
drinking their
sparkly
Pepsi
water because they don't, no alcohol. Yeah, it's some Pepsi's. Crying together. I didn't want to fire you, Punk. I know you didn't, man. I know you didn't. I know it was hard. It was in fucking Luke Perry's son. 90210 his ass out of that building, Tony. 90210 his ass out. I'm gonna do it, Punk. I'm gonna do it.
And now I have to act like a tough guy. Do you think I wanted to be a tough guy? Jesus fucking Christ.
How long do you think before I can bring you back? Pretend you're going to WWE and I'll bring you back next pay-per-view, baby.
Oh.
Then he's like, whoa, hold on. Actually, I'm hoping to get some Saudi blood dick money.
He definitely is. Oh, CM Punk on a Saudi show. That'd be fucking amazing. What a world
it's going to be
in.
good.
What a
I
world
hope that the Saudi blood dick comment comes up.
I know. Like, hey, before I pay you, what about this?
We have a clip. Your airplane won't be leaving until you view it.
What happened was, oh man, yeah. So, Tony, you have to stop listening because here's the thing: this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt me and other people. But I have been an internet nerd my whole life, and I've worked in professional sports promotions. The internet does not fucking matter. Just promote it. You gotta stop listening to the critiques. You gotta listen to what matters. Now, don't do a blind eye, but do the old check-in. Do the old, what do people think about this? All right. And then go back to do it. But I think the biggest thing about Tony right now is he's rattled. He's losing a little bit of success. And he lost focus. So I think he's just fucking more confused than ever.
I don't know. I feel like he probably has way too many cooks in the kitchen.
100%.
He's probably reading way too many reviews, critiques, etc., listening to way too many people, just trying to. And I get it. He wants to appease people, but it's impossible to appease everyone. In reality, he needs to just stop, buckle down, and get his shit organized, because it strikes me as kind of unorganized and a little chaotic at times. A lot of stuff just disappears. Once he's great at building people up as baby faces, and then once they win their championship, that it's just like, well, I guess they can lose now. I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
Like, he has a lot of things he needs to focus on and work on. If anything, the dude needs to sit down and come up with solid storyline plans. He needs to have at least a couple going for women and a couple going for the men's roster that he just needs to have going over time. And he needs to just touch those stories every few shows. They should get touched, or every week or two. Every one of those stories should be getting touched on one of the shows every other week or third week, to keep them all on people's minds while he builds up stories. And you can add more stories as you get more going and get more comfortable where they cycle out. But fuck, start somewhere. Get some kind of organizational system. Jesus, you come from a professional background. You should be more organized than this. It's nuts. Especially, you come from a background of being a dude that was an e-booker. You should be organized from doing that stupid shit. And I say that as someone who's done it. It's a pain in the ass. There's a lot of note taking. Come on, get your shit together.
Yeah. And you can't impress everyone. And here's the thing.
And I like AEW, for the record. I do. It's just like, fuck.
Yeah. And you got to stop listening to people. You got to have your fucking vision. Like, if someone comes up to you and be like, what is your vision? You should know it. And I think if someone came up to you right now, you'd say, what is your vision? You don't know. And I think that's what you have to do. I think that's the big part. And don't listen to the people that have fucking I know it sounds weird. Just don't listen to people like us. Check in with us. Be like, what do the goddamn internet think? Interesting.
Fuck that. If I could ask Tony Khan one question right now to try and get the source of it and get him to think about it, it would be this. If you were setting up your TEW, your Total Extreme Wrestling, or your EWR, if you're setting up whatever it is, your sim booker of choice, and you were setting up your promotion in it, man, for the first time, you're setting up AEW. What are you writing in that description area for AEW? Like, what is AEW? Because I don't feel like it's the same as what it was when you started, and I don't know if you know what it is anymore.
Yeah.
And until you can sit there and write a paragraph of like, this is what AEW's product is, do you really have your product under wraps?
Focus, yeah.
Like it feels like he doesn't.
No. And people are fucking hitting on him pretty fucking hard. That probably shouldn't. Vince Russo, Eric Bischoff, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
They're like, do you need long?
I don't know.
Eric Bischoff's like, you need long storylines that go somewhere. Really? Really, Bischoff?
I can at least, Eric Bischoff, I can give some leeway, because at the very worst, Eric Bischoff was the head of the corporation that gave the WWE the biggest run for its money.
100%.
He gets some pass for that. Just like Heyman gets some pass.
But at the same time, there's stuff that they're critique on Tony that they didn't do well. You know.
I agree.
And on that, but he had his hand in TNA.
But at the same time, they've had time to learn what they did wrong and such.
I guarantee a lot of those people won't admit they made mistakes.
Oh, no, 100%.
Like,
but
if I had guessed, I know what the number two questions, the 1 and 2 question I would do. Yeah, you start off with a softball.
How big is Batista's dick?
That would be the third one. That would be the main event.
Okay.
First question, because it's got to be a softball. What are you the most proud of in pro wrestling?
How big is that? Oh.
No. So what are you the most proud of? And then the second one is, what is your biggest regret? And the reason, I know it sounds like I'm interviewing for a fucking job, is because
where do you see yourself in pro wrestling in 5
yeah,
years?
But the big thing about the regret one is you could see if they're fucking genuine. You could see if they're genuine. Like, like if I was interviewing myself, all right, what's the most proud thing you did? All right, I made a weekly show. I outdrew John Cena with fucking very little money, and we went to Daytona and packed the fucking place, and we traveled across the state, and we were a very small local company that didn't have any backing whatsoever, but millions of people watched on streaming television before streaming television was a thing. That's what I'm most proud of.
And it ran off of cocaine and body oil.
I mean, there was a lot of cocaine and body oil there, but I don't know if that's what ran it. But
I bet if
and the
we
second
could go
thing
interview,
is,
if I could interview 5 people from ECW, I feel like I'd know that it was what ran it.
and then the big thing is, like, what is the biggest regret? Like, hey, what is the biggest regret? And my biggest regret is I let too many people buy into the company at the end, and at the very end, I just sold everything and dipped out. And I think maybe that's where he's at. Like, he's just letting too many people in. He's like, hey, Koco, I'd love to help you. Here's fucking, I don't know, fucking $1 zillion, not actual price. And then be like, and then Vince's like, hey, how about I pay you fucking $2 zillion to sit at home and do jack shit? And be like, all right. All right. So regrets I have for you. But a lot of these guys giving advice, they have no fucking regrets. So they're not genuine giving advice, you know? Tony, put down the Twitter machine and get your shit together. Stop listening to us and start fucking telling us what the fuck your vision is.
Get a vision.